Imagine being a 4-year-old, already enslaved, bruised, and broken. And yet, years later, you become the savior of hundreds. At the end, sacrifice your own soul. That is the haunting past of Bartholomew Kuma. Stay till the end, you won't look at him the same way again. 47 years ago, Kuma was born in Sorbet Kingdom at South Blue, to the only known survivor of the Buccaneer race, Clapp, and a gentle human mother. But at the age of 4, his world shattered when they were captured by the world governments, tortured mercilessly, and his mother to have never returned home. Yet, even in despair, his father Clab lit a spark of hope. He told Kuma about the sun god Nika, the god of laughter and liberation. Imagine that, amid screams, a child holding on to hope. അവൻ്റെ അച്ഛൻ വെടികൊണ്ട് വീഴുന്നത് കണ്ടിട്ടും അവൻ പ്രതീക്ഷ വിട്ടില്ല. അതാണ് that is who Bartholomew Kuma was. 38 years ago is when the God Valley incident occurred, where Kuma was just 9 years old, along with Emporio Ivankov and Ginny and many other slaves were thrown into the battlefield as prey to the predators known as the God's Knife or Holy Knights. Here, Ginny had already transmitted the location of the incident to the Rocks Pirates Rogers. This is where the greatest fight between the Rocks Pirates and Roger and Gar would take place. During the incident, Kuma, along with Ginny and Emporio Ivankov, would plan to steal the rewards, which were devil fruits, which could hold the power to rescue them from the island. They were successfully able to retrieve the pawpaw fruit, and Kuma ate it, and in return, he was able to get the powers to repel anything. With this power, he not only saved himself but also 500 slaves and escaped from the hands of the world government. After this, Emperor Ivankov would start his own journey, but Ginny and Kuma would stay at Sorbet Kingdom. They used to live in the church where Kuma used to live with his parents. As a young 17-year-old, Kuma would become a priest. He, along with Ginny, lived a life very peaceful. Every week, villagers would come to relieve their pain. He would observe the villagers' pain, the same way Zoro had to endure Luffy's pain. Kuma did it every week, so the pain wouldn't return to the villagers. During their time together, Kuma and Ginny would fall in love. But when Ginny proposed, Kuma envisioned the pain his mother had to occur just because her husband was a Buccaneer race and rejected Ginny, hoping for a peaceful life. But this wouldn't last. 22 years ago, when Kuma was 25 years old, corruption rose in Sorbet Kingdom, where the king has announced enslavement and disposal of the southern part of the Sorbet Kingdom. Kuma enraged will revolt against this, and Ginny and his friends followed, but they were captured. But this time, they were not saved by a miracle, but by the revolutionaries, Ivankov and Dragon himself. Kuma, once a victim, now became a pillar and a founding member of the revolutionary army. 14 years ago, during Kuma and Ginny's time with the revolutionary army, Ginny would get captured by the world nobles just because a celestial dragon wanted to make her his wife. And they knew they couldn't do anything against it because fighting against Marijua was not something they were capable of. 2 years later, when Kuma was 35 years old, the Revolutionary Army would receive a call. This was none other than Ginny. Ginny, with her dying breath, would bid farewell to her friends. She was dying due to sapphire skills, which did not have a cure. Kuma knew exactly where Ginny was, and he rushed to Sorbet Kingdom and to the church, where he would find a lifeless body of Ginny alongside a baby Bonney. This would be the turning point in Kuma's life where Kuma would become a father. Sadly, the peace did not last because it was found that Bonney also had the disease known as sapphire skins. Kuma wanted to cure her but couldn't find any deeds. When Kuma was 40 years old, King Buccaneer returned to enslave the people in Sorbet Kingdom. But this time, Kuma led a solo revolution that led to the rise of Kuma becoming the new king of Sorbet Kingdom. This did not sit well with the world government. उसने अकेले पूरे देश को बचाया था. फिर भी, what happened next was unprecedented. Kuma would become a target for the world government as they knew he was a Buccaneer race, and also King Buccaneer was behind it. Due to this, Kuma couldn't stay in Sorbet Kingdom any longer, so he had to travel alone to the seas so that he can find a cure for Bonney. During his travel, he would be chased by the government and marines and become a solo pirate. This is where he became well known as a pirate. During his travel, Dragon would tip him of a doctor known as Vegapunk. When Kuma would visit Vegapunk would offer to build a cure for sapphire scales for Bonney, but on return, he would have to become a test subject and let Vegapunk examine his blood samples and become a model for the pacifistas. This conversation would be overheard by J. Garcia Saturn, who would interrupt them and make sure that Kuma had to accept three conditions for Vegapunk to make a cure for Bonney. The conditions were for Kuma to become a Shichibukai, a warlord of the sea, and a complete cyborg, also his soul taken away from him, and to never see Bonnie again after she is cured. யாரா இருந்தாலும் இந்த கண்டிஷன்ஸ் கேட்டு தயங்குவாங்க but he did not. As you can see in the panel, with a smile he accepted those conditions. His last words would be something that Luffy would remember and also as fans remembered for years to come. Mo nidoto aokoto wa nai sarabada. These were his last words before his humanity was taken away from him, and these words, while unclear at that time, every one of us hated him for what he did to the Straw Hats, but we never knew his intentions. His intentions were to save Straw Hats from the government and make sure the sun god Nika rises in this world. Even after enduring all this, Kuma's story isn't about redemption, it's about self-sacrifice. A man who gave everything for his family and the people he loved. He didn't seek anything other than peace. Comment down your favorite moment of Kuma and also say which is your favorite backstory in all of anime. Hey, if you made it this far, thank you. This is actually my first video on this channel, and if you are someone who loves anime and manga like I do, welcome to AMverse. A like and sub would really help me keep going. All my socials are linked in the description. Check them out and do follow. I am TJ. I actually speak Malayalam, Tamil and Hindi as well. So please comment down if you would want me to make videos in those languages as well. This is the beginning of our verse. Until next time, remember, never lose yourself, even in anguish.